Big 38 up on my body, put him in the sky, you won't even win it. Send that nigga to the dental, for thinking that nigga's pretending. I got 52 shots in this Glock with an infrared up on it, I can feel that off. Stress to be on the top, yellow tape on his black ace head off.
Oh my god, bro! I cannot sit here and cap. I'm kind of hyped for this. Like, I feel like this what if will be slower, but I'm still kind of hyped for this. So y'all might be thinking, the Prince of Konaha. What the fuck's the what? That's not a what if title, but kinda. That's the title in my thumbnail. But yeah, this is actually what if Naruto knew about his What if Naruto knew about his legacy? And I don't know what I'm gonna name it yet, but that's pretty much a sum. If Naruto knew who his mother was and who his father was, and if the Leaf Village knew who Naruto's parents were. Okay. So yeah, let's start. You see, Kushina will be Kushina in this what if will be a descendant of the founder of the what was it called, the Kage of the Hidden Whirlpool Village. So that was in Mike Knight's village. So she'll be a direct descendant of him, and that'll be known. So Kushina is pretty much the princess of the what was it called, the Whirlpool Village, but like it's wiped out now, so she's not anymore. But yeah, the village, she's the princess of a once like great village and a great clan, but no longer exists thanks to like 3 nations being like, we gonna gang up on these niggas, we gonna kill them. Simple. But yeah, and let's start the order. In Minato is just Minato Namikaze. So let's start the what if. Naruto, we're gonna go back to the night Naruto was born. You see, in this what if, things will go similarly, but at the same time there will be a change that's pretty big. You see, what was it called? The Ninetales won't destroy the village that much. When the Ninetales get shot, Obito and Minato's fight is when the Ninetales gets unsealed. Obito and Minato's fight will be very quick. They won't really. Their fight will be extremely quick, and before the Ninetales can even do damage to the village, more than destroy like a building or two, Minato will take the Biju bomb and teleport somewhere else, and then fight the Ninetales and like seal it, like what happened in the original. So the Ninetales will not destroy that much of the village. And you might be thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, that's what I'm doing. That's what I mean. Ninetales will not destroy that much of the village. And yeah, So yeah, Minato does a repair that seal and he dies just like in the original, and Kushina gets stabbed too. But you see, Kushina doesn't die off the rip. No, she's alive, and it's known throughout the village that the 4th Hokage died, but his wife gave birth to their child, Naruto Namikaze. As it's known, and the hospital is being guarded by Anbu on top of Anbu and Jonin all throughout the Leaf, who should be at different stations, are all at the hospital. As it's known that the previous Hokage's wife is on her deathbed right now. As before she dies, the entire village gathers and she makes one last wish. She says, "This was my husband's dying wish, and it's also mine. Can you please treat my son as a hero and not a demon? You see, he's the Jinchuriki of the Ninetales." There was no other. He was the Jinchuriki of the Ninetales. As everyone was gasped in shock, thinking, why would the 4th Hokage seal a demon inside his own child? As Kushina says, my husband decided to seal the Ninetales fox in our child, because he did not want to burden anyone else with the responsibility of having their child have the Ninetales fox when he wouldn't be willing to give up his own child. As everyone in the village takes this differently. The village wasn't damaged that much. Sorry, my recording cut out. The village wasn't damaged that much in this what if, and there were 0 casualties. So when they're not listening with hatred in their eyes, the Ninetales is just the Ninetales. It's a weapon of their village. That's pretty much how they thought, and that's how they still think. They don't have that unreasonable hatred right now. So when she explains to them that Minato, their Hokage, their savior, sacrificed his own son to be the jailer of the demon fox, instead of looking at Naruto with hatred, they look at him as how everyone wanted him to be looked at. how Minato wanted to be looked at in the original. They look at him as a hero. Some of the village just looks at him as, okay, he's a Hokage's son, so he'll still get praise. But most of the village is not treating Naruto like garbage. They look at it as a hero, as Minato wished, and now Kushina is relaying the message to them. As everyone in the village starts cheering, saying Naruto and Minato and Lord Fourth, as Kushina smiles at this and gets off the podium place that she was giving the speech from, and goes to hold Naruto, and she dies holding Naruto in her arms. As when she gets to the afterlife or the shinobi afterlife or whatever, she tells Minato about what happened and their village's reaction. As Minato smiles, knowing he made the right decision, and his son will live a peaceful life. We're gonna fast forward to Naruto being 4. You see, since it's commonly known that Naruto is Minato Namikaze, the yellow flash of the hidden leaf, and Kushina Uzumaki, the red death child, Naruto cannot be in an orphanage. He lives in the Hokage mansion with the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, and his grandson, Konohamaru Sarutobi. Asuma already moved out since he was Kakashi's age. So yeah, Asuma's already living on his own. As Naruto is just chilling. He's 4. Wait, will Konohamaru even be alive? I should check that. Okay, well, I guess Konohamaru is like 5 years younger than Naruto, or is it 4? So, yeah, Konohamaru's 5 or 4 years younger. So, the Hokage, so Konohamaru hasn't been born yet. But Konohamaru's mother is pregnant with Konohamaru currently. So Naruto is pretty much a 4-year-old kid living in the mansion pretty much by himself and Konohamaru's mother. The Hokage is too busy with his work, and Konohamaru's mother is stuck in the Hokage mansion. She can't go to her normal house due to the fact that she is pregnant and she's the third Hokage's daughter, so she can't be walking around saying, come take the third Hokage's daughter and son, because she's pregnant and she could fight off, but she could fight off a ninja or two since she was in the Anbu. Konohamaru's parents were in the Anbu, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, but she couldn't fight off a bunch of people. Naruto is in the house. Asuma isn't there. He visits every once in a while, but he's most of the time he's busy doing missions. Konohamaru's dad is doing missions, and he lives at the Hokage mansion for now since Konohamaru's mom's staying there, because that was the third Hokage's personal quest as well. And yeah, Naruto's there pretty much with Konohamaru's mom most of the time. And the Hokage's busy. As Naruto is just looking around, he's looking on all the information he can get about his family. You see, Naruto always knew who his parents were, as he was told a lot. You see, most of the time when Naruto was taken out, it was by Kakashi, who took him around the village to get food or eat or something like that. And whenever Naruto would leave, whenever somebody saw him, they would look at Naruto and bow and just continue walking with a smile on their face. Naruto wondered why a lot, and he asked the third Hokage eventually, as the third Hokage divulged a secret to Naruto, as he thought the child has a right to know his parents, and it's not like it's a secret anyway. As he said, Naruto. As Naruto was like, yes, Gramps. As third Hokage was like, you see, Naruto, your mother and father, as Naruto says, you're gonna tell me who my parents were? As the third Hokage says yes. Naruto, your mother was Kushina Uzumaki. As Naruto thinks, Kushina Uzumaki? But then, as he's thinking, he said Uzumaki. But weren't the Uzumaki clan wiped out? As Hiruzen says, how do you know that? As Naruto's like, I saw in a book, as Hiruzen smiles at this, saying, so you take after your father. As Naruto says, what? As Hiruzen says, never mind, it is to be accepted. It is to be expected. The Namikaze clan are known for their intelligence, but not as quite intelligent as the Nara clan. As Hiruzen says, Naruto. And Naruto's like, yes. Your dad was Minato Namikaze. As Naruto's like, wait, you mean the fourth Hokage? But I knew I was a Namikaze, but I didn't think I was his kid. As Hiruzen says, yes, Naruto. As Naruto's kind of happy at this, he honestly suspected it. You see, even as a 4-year-old child, Naruto has quite the intellect. In the data books, I watched a video on the Namikaze clan for this what if, and it said that Namikaze clan have high intelligence, only being second to the Nara clan. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I'll take it as it is. So I'll say Naruto is quite intelligent in this what if, also because I want him to be smart. As the third Hokage says, well, as Naruto suspected that he was a son of the fourth Hokage, but he said there's about a 50-50 chance, as he's never heard of another Namikaze being in the leaf. But he also, the probability of him being the child of the fourth is quite low, as Naruto's only been out of the Hokage mission a couple of times. You see, he's restricted to the training grounds, the training grounds that's right outside the Hokage mansion, and the training, and what was it called, the inside in the Hokage mansion. That's it. There's a training guys behind it, and the Hokage mansion itself. That's what he's restricted to. So he does go outside. The only other time he leaves the house is if he goes with Kakashi to eat something, or Konohamaru's parents ever go shopping and Naruto begs to tag along, which is only a few times. Naruto has been out of the house less than a dozen times throughout his life. He's sad by it, but now that he knows who his parents is, he understands why. He's pretty much a walking target, the son of the fourth Hokage, and he's the son of the fourth Hokage. Why would he? And he doesn't know the fact that he's a Jinchuriki, but he'll learn soon enough. Naruto, knowing that he's the son of the fourth Hokage, gives him a little bit more inspiration. You see, Naruto's already has quite the high intellect, and he also always wanted to be a ninja. But now that he knows that he's the son of the fourth, he feels unbearable pressure to live up to who his father was. As Naruto does some research on who the Uzumaki clan and Kushina Uzumaki specifically, he learns of the Uzumaki clan and how they were wiped out by 3 separate hidden villages attacking them, or was it nations attacking them? As Naruto thinks, wow, my clan must have been really strong. As he's looking through, seeing the Uzumaki clan had a Kagenkai, known as the sealing chakra chains. As Naruto thinks, as he looks up his mother too and realizes she could use them. They usually appear golden color, and Naruto's thinking, well, isn't that interesting? I wonder, as if Naruto tried to do it, but he didn't do it, as he hasn't even unlocked his chakra yet. As Naruto says, well, I'll have to unlock my chakra first. As Naruto learns on the Uzumaki clan, learning of their high chakra, their high amount of chakra, and their affinity for sealing jutsu. As Naruto thinks of this, Fuinjitsu, huh? I heard the fourth Hokage was amazing at it. My dad's affinity plus the fact that the Uzumaki are naturally gifted and my chakra chains. I should be a pretty good seal master. As Naruto's thinking to himself, yep, I'll definitely be good at sealing jutsu. As he's also looking through the chakra natures, he realizes his mom had a chakra nature of wind and fire, and I'm pretty sure Minato had lightning, wind, and fire. I don't even remember what the chakra nature was, so I'm not gonna act like I do. I could look it up, but yeah. As Kushina had wind, water, and yin release, while Minato had wind, lightning, fire, yin, and yang release. As Naruto he obviously didn't read yin and yang release, but he read the other ones. So Naruto thinks, I have a chance at getting every chakra nature except Earth. As he thinks of this thinking, but the chances will probably get 2 of them. As Naruto is hoping there'll probably be wind, since that is a rare chakra nature in the Hidden Leaf Village and throughout most Shinobi villages. Even in the Sand Village, which has the most wind users out of any hidden village, still have a rare amount of wind users, maybe 10, even 20 at most. As Naruto hopes he gets wind, knowing only 2 other people in the village who have it, and that is Danzo, one of the elders, and Asuma Sarutobi. As Naruto thinks, okay, and maybe lightning sounds cool, or even fire. Fire sounds good. I could increase my fire attacks using wind. As Naruto's thinking of all these combinations he could use, as Hiruzen comes back knocking on Naruto's door saying, Naruto, as Naruto's like, yeah. as he runs over to his door, and he was reading in his dream. He runs over to the door saying, "Yeah, Gramps." As the Hokage says, "What were you up to?" I came back early so we could do some training." As Naruto's like, "Really?" As the Hokage says, "Yeah." As he ruffles Naruto's hair, Naruto says, I was reading about my parents and my clan." As he says, "I learned about how the Uzumaki clan was wiped out." Were they really so strong they needed that many people? As the Hokage says, "Yes, your clan was very strong, Naruto, and extremely feared." As Naruto says, "Really? I'll become super strong too." As Naruto smiles at this, as Naruto smiles and the Hokage smiles at Naruto's reaction. As he says, "Well, Naruto, let's go train." As Hokage trained Naruto 2 times before, and the 2 times both have been since Naruto learned the sense. The 2 times have been before Naruto learned about his heritage. As Naruto says, "Okay, let's do this." As he smiles, as the third Hokage says, "Okay, Naruto." As the third Hokage just gives Naruto basic training stuff. You see, the third Hokage gave Naruto and third Hokage, Asuma, and Kakashi, and band together, and they made Naruto a training regimen that he does on a day-to-day basis. You see, even though Naruto's a child, he is quite smart, and if he can't train his chakra yet because he hasn't unlocked it, they'll try to get him to train his yin, and they'll try to get him to train his body for when he goes to the academy, as they know he'll have to be strong, and people will often want to fight him due to who his parents are, so they think he is best for him to be strong, even if in body and not with chakra, as he's been doing that training regimen. But when the Hokage or Kakashi decide to train him, it's a different type of training. They train him on sparring and fighting people, and they train him on taijutsu skills. As Naruto's not allowed to use weapons yet, he acts a bunch, but they would not let him touch a weapon. He is only 4 after all. The Hokage trained with Naruto. After the training, Naruto says, Gramps, as the Hokage is like, "Yes." As Naruto's like, "Can I unlock my chakra?" As the Hokage spits out his food saying, why so all of a sudden?" As Naruto says, "Well, I think I should practice to become stronger." As Naruto explains his reasoning, saying he wants to live up to his clan and his parents, as Naruto feels ever since he learned about his parents, he feels the unbearable pressure of his clan, being the also powerful Uzumaki clan, and being the son of the 4th Hokage. He feels such immense pressure to be powerful, to be stronger than anyone else. As the Hokage looks at Naruto, Naruto didn't obviously say he feels pressure to be strong. He just says he wants to be strong. As the Hokage looks at Naruto, saying, "Okay, Naruto, we'll unlock your chakra nature tomorrow." As the Hokage says, "Honey, I don't have it. I have tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll probably be able to get off early again." As the Hokage gets off early the next day, we're just gonna skip to the next day. Hokage gets off early and comes back home. Naruto has been jumping around the house all day, and Asuma's, what was it called? Konohamaru's mom is getting quite tired of it. She's already 6 months pregnant, and the fact that Naruto is jumping around the house like a madman, saying, "I'm gonna unlock my chakra," is not helping her with that fact. As the third Hokage comes back home, saying, "Naruto, it's time." As Naruto says, "Finally," as Hiruzen's daughter, or I'm pretty sure that's his daughter, says, "Yeah, that's the only way she could," or maybe it's his dad. I don't even remember which one was the Sarutobi, but either way, daughter or daughter-in-law, I'm not looking it up because I don't care enough. Daughter or daughter-in-law looks at Hiruzen saying, Hiruzen, as he says yes, as she says, "You shouldn't have told him you're gonna help him." As Naruto says, "What? Why are you being so mean?" As she's like, "You were jumping around the house like a madman all day." As she says, "You should have just helped him unlock it when you got home." As Hiruzen chuckles, saying, "Sorry about that." As she says, "It's fine." As Naruto's like, "Yes." She's like, "Behave." As he's like, "Okay." As Hiruzen sweat drops from this, as Naruto goes out and starts training with Hiruzen. Hiruzen warms Naruto up a little bit, getting him ready to train, getting his body warmed up a little bit, like a couple push-ups, sit-ups, a couple laps, and then now it's time for Naruto to unlock his chakra nature. Hiruzen sits down with his legs crossed from each other, and Naruto does the same, as Hiruzen does the meditating pose, as Naruto does the same. And then Hiruzen does a hand seal, tiger seal. As Naruto's like, okay. As then Hiruzen says, Naruto. And yes, and Naruto's like, there's two ways to unlock a chakra. As Hiruzen's like, and Naruto's like, yeah, I know. For someone to force it open, or for you to naturally unlock it. And Hiruzen's like, yes. But the forcibly open hurts like a lot. As Naruto's like, yeah, I know, but I'll be able to handle it. As Hiruzen says, yeah, I know you will. As he ruffles Naruto's hair, still not unsure about if he wants to put Naruto through this much pain. I don't know if this is actually true what I just said about unlocking chakra, but yeah, my what if my rules. So Hiruzen puts his hand on Naruto's shoulder, still holding the tiger seal on with his right hand, and his left hand Naruto's shoulder. As he says, ready, Naruto? And Naruto's like, yeah. Hiruzen's like, on the count of three. On the count of three. As Naruto's like, okay. And Naruto's like, okay. As Hiruzen says, one. And then he forcibly unlocks Naruto's chakra. As Naruto's writhing in pain on the floor, saying, you said on the count of three. As he's rolling around on the floor. As Hiruzen says, yes. But one of my students, Tsunade, is a medical ninja. And she told me that expecting pain just makes it worse. As Naruto says, damn medical ninjas. As Hiruzen says, what'd you say? As Naruto's like, nothing. As he's writhing around on the floor, still in pain. Hiruzen laughs at Naruto's antics. As Naruto stands up saying, you know, it didn't hurt that bad. My stomach hurt a little bit for like 10 seconds. As Hiruzen's like, yes, the pain isn't too bad, but the people prefer to let their children unlock it naturally. As most kids don't really want to train as early as you. And Naruto's like, yeah, I know. And Hiruzen says, you should have just waited a year or two, and you would have unlocked it. And Naruto's like, yeah, I know. People unlock when they're 6 or 7, but no one uses it till like they're 8 or 9 in the academy. So what's the point? As Hiruzen says, what are you going to do? And Naruto's like, I'm definitely going to train. As Hiruzen says, well, Naruto, first you'll have to learn chakra control. As Naruto's like, I know, but I heard, but since I have so much chakra, won't it be more difficult to learn chakra control? As Hiruzen nods his head saying, yes, Naruto, it'll be quite difficult for you with the immense amount of chakra you have. And Hiruzen in his head is saying, oh, so with the Nine Tails. You see, the Nine Tails fox is still sealed, the Yang side is still sealed inside of Naruto. So, yeah, that doesn't change. As Naruto says, okay, let's train. As Hiruzen trains with Naruto, you see, Naruto is naturally gifted in every way. He's a prodigy in every sense of the word. Even though he has such an immense amount of chakra, he's controlling it. He's managing to control it. Although not as easy as you would think it is, but he's still managing. As Hiruzen is seeing this, thinking, this is pretty good. As he gives Naruto the leaf exercise that Naruto did in Shippuden when he was trying to master the Rasen Shuriken. As Naruto does the leaf exercise, mastering it, Hiruzen moves on, thinking, what should I teach him now? As he thinks Naruto's pretty much chakra control is actually pretty good for someone his age, and some with his chakra amount. So he thinks maybe he could try learning this. And he says, Naruto. And Naruto's like, yes, try doing this. As Hiruzen puts one foot on the tree, as he starts walking up, and Naruto's like, wow, how can you do that? And as Hiruzen laughs at this, saying, you know, he's pretty smart, but he can't know everything just yet. As Hiruzen says, Naruto, focus your chakra on your feet, on the bottom of your feet. Don't put too much or too little, but... Don't put too much or too little. Put too little and you'll fall off, and put too much and you'll be flung off the tree. And Naruto's like, okay. As Naruto tries running off the tree, but falls back down. Hiruzen says, well, Naruto, that's all. Tell me when you've mastered this, okay? And we'll move on to the next step in your chakra control. And Naruto says, yes. Naruto says, yeah, thanks, Gramps. As he tries running up the tree again and again. As Hiruzen throws Naruto a kunai, saying, here, Naruto. And Naruto's like, what is this? As Naruto looks at the weird kunai Hiruzen threw him. The kunai Hiruzen threw Naruto is a 3-pronged kunai. As Hiruzen says, this kunai was your dad's. It's the only one we have, and I thought you should have it. As Naruto's like, really? Thanks. As Naruto holds the kunai close to him, almost hugging it, as like it'll slip out right through his hands. As Hiruzen smiles at this, saying, also, you could use it to mark the tree. whenever you jump, whenever you go up high enough, just throw the kuna at the place and mark it. And Naruto's like, okay, but I don't want to damage my dad's kunai. And Hiruzen's like, yes, but we can get it resharpened and fixed up if it ever messes up. So have fun. And Naruto's like, okay, as Hiruzen is not about to give a 4-year-old another what was it called, sharp object. So Naruto continues. After about 2 weeks, he learns. And yes, bro, I said 2 weeks. I did say he's a prodigy, but he is 4 and just unlocked his chakra. So yeah, but Naruto is gonna be OP. Don't get me fucked up. Like, if y'all knew the thumbnail, y'all can already see the future, bro. Naruto is gonna be OP. That's not, but he's 4, bro. Like, if I make him learn everything super quickly, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of his time he's aging. But yeah, Naruto learned how to walk on trees. As Hiruzen commends him on this, Naruto can even hang up on side down of the tree for hours, just doing that, trying to master chakra. He does it with one leg, and he also learns how to hang off a tree with one finger on the tree. Like, yes, bruh. Like, Naruto can put one finger on the tree branch and just hang off of it. As Hiruzen's seeing this thing, the chakra control is amazing. As Naruto just lets himself fall, front flipping and landing in front of Hiruzen, saying, "What's next, Gramps?" As Hiruzen says, "Well, Naruto, this one will be a little more difficult." As Hiruzen takes Naruto to the hot springs, saying, "I want you to walk on water." As Naruto's like, what? As Hiruzen walks on water, and Naruto's like, I don't think I can do that. As Naruto tilts his head, as Hiruzen says, "Come on, Naruto, it's like tree walking." And Naruto's like, "Oh, really? If it's that easy?" As Naruto goes up to walk on the, water and just drops right in. Like, he doesn't even get one step in. He just falls straight. And as Hiruzen laughs, saying, "But that's difficult." As Naruto jumps out saying, "Hot, hot, 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 hot." As Hiruzen says, "Yes, Naruto, it is hot." And Naruto uses chakra Naruto uses chakra and trying again and again. He was just like, "Well, have fun." And it's just like, "But why'd you bring me to the hot springs?" As Hiruzen's like, "Well, it'll be harder to walk on water in the hot springs, so I thought I'll bring you here." As Hiruzen says, "And also I want to conduct some business." As Hiruzen starts peeping, and Naruto's like, "Pervert." And Hiruzen's like, "How does a kid like you know that word?" Naruto's like, "I read it in a book." As he smiles at Hiruzen, as Hiruzen says, "No, this is not good. Don't stop smiling." As he starts chasing Naruto, and he says, "Never come back here again. If you know what that word means, then..." And he thinks of Naruto becoming a pervert, and he says, "No way, Kushina would kill me." He just thinks of Kushina, and every time Kushina hit him over the head for doing something stupid, thinking, "Nope, if I let her son become a pervert, she'll murder me. And she'll kill me the second I enter the afterlife." As a reason, thinking of his old age and how he'll be there soon, and he says, "Nope, no way, Naruto, let's go." As he drags Naruto out, thinking still his nose bleeding, thinking, "I can't let this happen. It shall not happen." As he's dragging Naruto's like, "Wait, old man, what are you doing?" As Hiruzen's like, Hiruzen's like, "Just train at the lake." As he throws Naruto into the lake, and Naruto says, "Wait, what?" As Naruto falls into that lake, as he pulls himself out, saying, "The hell do you think you're doing, old man?" As Hiruzen says, "Well, I was throwing you in to show you." As Naruto's like, "Show me what?" As Hiruzen's like, "I don't know, but that's not the point. Walk on water." As Naruto says, "Whatever." As Hiruzen gives Naruto tips, and Naruto continues walking on water. Hiruzen leaves and doesn't meet up with Naruto for a few months. When Hiruzen gets for a few months, so we're gonna time skip about 3 months. And Hiruzen hasn't trained Naruto since. They do talk and eat at dinner, but that's it. As Hiruzen says, "Naruto, I finally can train you again." And Naruto's like, "Really? Okay, let's go." As Naruto smiles, as Hiruzen says, "So, have you mastered water walking?" And Naruto's like, "Yeah, it only took me like a week." Hiruzen says, "Really? That was faster than your tree walking." And Naruto's like, "Yeah, but I already knew tree walking and mastered it super well, so water walking was easy." As Naruto starts walking on the water and starts tap dancing, showing Hiruzen. As Hiruzen's like, "Yes, we get it." As Hiruzen's like, "Naruto, this jutsu I'm gonna teach you." And I was like, "Finally, you're gonna teach me a jutsu?" As Hiruzen's like, yes, Naruto, calm down though." And I was like, "Okay." As Naruto calmed down, saying, "Okay, this jutsu I'm gonna teach you." And Naruto's like, "Yes." As Hiruzen's like, "It'll be the clone jutsu." As Naruto sighs at this, saying, "Really?" As Hiruzen's like, "Yes." Naruto's like, "But," and it was like, "No buts." And I was like, "But I already know how to do it." As Hiruzen's like, "What?" And Naruto makes a clone. As Hiruzen says, "How'd you learn that?" Naruto says, I got it. I went to the academy and took an academy book. And he was like, "Wait, you snuck out the Hokage house?" And Naruto's like, Yeah, just once. I just wanted to get some books." He was inside of Naruto thinking that's dangerous, but he can run up walls and stuff, so getting away might be a little bit easier. As he still thinks if actual enemy ninjas got in, he would not be able to leave. So if foreign ninjas comes in, but Hiruzen also thinks of the fact he has Anbu constantly patrolling Naruto, so that's a good thing. Constantly watching Naruto. So even though Naruto is in the Hokage mission, he still has Anbu's constantly watching him. Hiruzen says, "Okay, Naruto." As Naruto says, and I also learned, but that's only jutsu I could learn. There was another one I really wanted to learn. As Naruto says, "What is that?" Well, see, there's this jutsu I read about, and it's called the substitution jutsu. As Naruto says, "Yes, that's a good one too, but I don't think I think you're a little too young for that." Naruto says, "Please, please, and I promise you, you won't have to train me for a super long time." As Hiruzen thinks of this thing, deal. And Naruto's like, "Really?" As Hiruzen's like, "Yes." And Naruto's like, thank you, Gramps." As Hiruzen teaches Naruto substitution jutsu. As Naruto says, and Naruto just tries doing it. And over the course of a few days, Naruto masters the substitution jutsu. As Hiruzen's like, "Well, that's a substitution jutsu. There's different variants, like substituting yourself with clones and stuff. But for that, for that, you'll have to master even further and learn a clone type." I don't have to think of this thing. But I have to learn my chakra and just do it. Clones. As he thinks that in his head, it doesn't say it out loud. We're gonna fast forward to the next day. Naruto has already mastered substitution jutsu. He wants to learn his chakra nature. You see, Naruto hasn't learned his chakra nature because getting your hand on chakra paper, you would have to go to a store. So Naruto is not really allowed to leave that much unless he sneaks out, so going to a store is quite difficult. Luckily, Naruto was able to sneak out today. He jumped out his house window, walking down the wall, as Naruto thinks to chakra control training, thanks to now that I know how to walk on walls and my chakra control training, sneaking out is so much easier. As then Naruto pumps chakra into his leg, jumping extremely far, flying over 2 or 3 buildings, then landing on the floor. As then he continues to walk. Naruto's walking throughout the village. As then he arrives at a store and says, "Hello, mister." As the clerk says, "Oh, hello, kid. What do you want?" As Naruto's like, "I need some chakra paper." As he says, "A kid like you, what would you need chakra paper for?" And Naruto's like, "I want to figure out what my chakra natures are." And he's like, "Oh, really, kid?" And Naruto's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "So your parents are shinobi or something?" And Naruto's like, "Yep." And he's like, "What rank were they?" And Naruto's like, "Well, my dad was a Hokage, but my mom was a Jonin." As he looks at Naruto, saying, and then looks at Naruto's blonde hair, saying, You're the son of the fourth." And Naruto's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Here you go." I think he has Naruto chocolate paper, saying, "Here, take an extra one free. They're on the house. Thank you very much." As he bows to Naruto, and Naruto says, "Please, just let me pay." As he brings out the money, and the guy says, No, keep it. You're the son of the Lord, the fourth Hokage. He saved our lives, and he can't tell Naruto the fact that he's housing the Nine Tails, and that keeping it at bay. So he says, "So please take it." And Naruto's like, okay. But Naruto still leaves the money on the table with a note saying, "Sorry, but I don't like taking things for free," and walks out. The clerk sees the paper, reading it and thinking, well, that's actually a good kid. But he should have just taken it for free. And the clerk takes the money and puts it in the cashier. And Naruto goes back to the house. The Anbu watching Naruto that day was none other than our favorite silver-haired ninja, Kakashi Hatake. As Kakashi was watching this, thinking, well, Kakashi's hair is not really silver, it's whitish, but sometimes it looks silver. Like, I don't know what's wrong with this. Sometimes it looks gray, and sometimes but most of the time it looks white. As what was it called? As Kakashi was watching this, thinking, he has pretty good chakra control, and he empties jump pretty far with chakra. Kid's pretty skilled for a 5-year-old. As Naruto is 5 right now. Naruto goes back to the house as he sees a baby Konohamaru. Like he hears a baby Konohamaru yelling in the crib. Naruto did climb back through his window. He walks out these doors saying, "Can you stop crying, Konohamaru?" As Konohamaru is just crying as he's only an infant, about 2 months old. Naruto tries to figure out what Konohamaru wants as both Konohamaru's parents are on a mission and Naruto's been left to take care of Konohamaru. Konohamaru is crying, and Naruto gets a bottle of milk and gives it to him. And Konohamaru starts drinking it and stops crying. Naruto's like, "There, okay. Well, I'm gonna go train, but you can't come with me." As Naruto goes outside to the backyard where the training place is. As in the he leaves the door open, obviously, so he leaves the door halfway open, so he can hear if Konohamaru cries, but all the debris and dust doesn't immediately go through the door. Naruto amps chakra into the paper as he thinks, "Let's see what I have." The paper first splits in half, then splits in half again, and Naruto's like, split in a quarter. This paper actually just splits. The paper, splits in half. Then it gets doused in water. Then it crinkles up, and then it crumbles. Then it crinkles up. The paper, first splits in half, then gets doused in water, then crinkles up, and all the water comes out, and then it flames up, burning to ash. And Naruto thinks, wind, water, lightning, and fire. As Naruto smiles, saying, "I got four, I got all of them." As Naruto is running around the backyard saying, "I got all four." As Kakashi is watching through the smile on his face, thinking, 4 chakra natures off the bat. Most people only have the one and train to get the second one. As Naruto is smiling at this, as he immediately sneaks out again, going to the library. Naruto goes to the library, says, "Can I get scrolls on?" As the man says, "Hey kid, get out of here." Naruto's like, "But," he's like, "I don't care, but out." And Naruto's like, "Okay." As the man didn't know who Naruto was, he sees Naruto's hair and yellow hair and blue eyes. He says, "Who are you, brat, anyway?" And Naruto's like, "I'm Naruto Namikaze." And she says, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're the Lord Fourth's son." He's like, "What do you need?" And Naruto's like, "It's fine." As Naruto runs out the shop with tears in his eyes, as the clerk on immediately feels bad, saying, I just yelled at the village's hero's son and made him cry." As Naruto walks out the village, runs out the shop and runs back home. Then he remembers something. All he has to do to actually get in his clothes is sneak into third Hokage's study. As Naruto sneaks into the third Hokage's study, looking around, saying, "I'll take this." As he takes up a couple scrolls of taijutsu, and it's the third Hokage's ninjutsu, like scroll. It has a bunch of scrolls, and we're talking about the guy who knew every jutsu in existence. So like, yeah, this place has an insane amount of jutsus and stuff. Naruto takes a few scrolls for taijutsu, a few scrolls just so he can master more taijutsu skills. He took an Anbu one just because he thought, why not? He took an Anbu taijutsu scroll. He took a taijutsu scroll on the Hyuga clan, and he took a taijutsu scroll that focuses on speed. You see, Naruto knew that he doesn't have the Byakugan, so he can't use the Hyuga clan taijutsu. But he honestly wanted to see what it's all about and why they're so revered, as he doesn't know the Hyuga clan taijutsu is extremely revered. And when he was looking up on research on the Uzumaki clan, he ended up reading on every other clan in the Hidden Leaf, as Naruto is a bit of a bookworm. Naruto researched every book he has, all the scrolls, and gets us 2 scrolls on wind, 2 scrolls on lightning, 2 scrolls on fire, and 2 scrolls on water. As Naruto takes all the scrolls and starts training, he learns, and over the course of the next year, Naruto masters these jutsus. He masters Wind Style Air Bullet Jutsu, Wind Style Gale Palm Jutsu. He masters Fire Style Fire Bomb Jutsu and Fire Style Phoenix Flower Jutsu, a high-ranking Fire Style Jutsu and a low-ranking one. He also, and we're talking about right now, 6-year-old Naruto knows this. And he also masters Water Style Water Bullet Jutsu and Water Style and he learns water style air bullet jutsu. The other jutsu Naruto was trying to learn from the scroll is a high ranking A rank water style jutsu. I stuttered a bunch. But yeah, as Naruto hasn't mastered this jutsu yet, the jutsu is water style severing waves. Naruto can do it decently, but he can't get the full range of the jutsu out. So he's still working on that. He's mastered fire style. I already said the fire style jutsus, right? And he is in the wind style, and those are the water style. And he's also mastered lightning style, lightning ball jutsu, where he shoots out he shoots through three lightning orbs out. And he's also mastered this other jutsu, and it's less of a jutsu and more of a technique. You see, he puts lightning style chakra into his attack. He coats his hand in chakra and changes the nature to lightning style, and attacks wooden posts, trying to attack with lightning style chakra nature, which will stun the enemy a little bit. And that's what Naruto learned. So yeah, those are the jutsus Naruto learned. As Naruto is still trying to master water style severing wave. Naruto just realized he's extremely proficient at water style jutsu. He's wondering exactly why, but he doesn't question it. And he continues to learn. As we're gonna time skip to Naruto in the academy. Naruto is still learning jutsu day after day, trying to master more and more. Naruto is prodigy, and today is his first day at the academy. He waves good. He eats his food. And I realize he does not, parents. Naruto eats his food and walks out of his house, walking all the way to the academy. Once he arrives there, he sits in the seat in the back of the class, all the way to the corner next to the window. And Naruto just sits there, just waiting. Eventually, everyone else arrives, as he was there even before the teachers. As everyone else arrives and their teacher walks in, he says, "I'm Maruka, and I'll be your teacher until you guys graduate the academy." As he says, "Well, I hope you all learn a lot about the Wheel of Fire, and will become splendid ninja in the future." As everyone cheers, wanting to become shinobi. As Naruto just thinks to himself, "Of course I will. I don't have a choice. I have to surpass everyone. I have to become strong." As Iruka says, "Well, everyone, I'll call attendance, and when I call your name, raise your hand up and say here." As he goes through everyone, and he finally arrives at Naruto saying, "Naruto Namikaze," as Naruto says here, not raising his hand up, but just saying here. As Iruka says, I knew you would be in my class, but I didn't think you would arrive this early." Naruto says, "I was the first one here." As Hiruka says, "Oh, splendid then." As everyone is shocked, they're saying Namikaze, like the fourth Hokage. As everyone says, looks back on Naruto. As Naruto's like, "Why is everyone staring at me?" As Kiba says, "Are you the son of the fourth?" As Naruto's like, "Yeah." As Kiba's like, "Really?" And Naruto's like, "Yeah, so." As Kiba's like, "Isn't he supposed to be super strong?" As Naruto's like, "How would I know?" And Kiba's like, "He's your dad." And Naruto's like, "Okay, he died the day I was born. How do you expect me to know?" As after everyone hears this, they all just stay quiet and they all turn back to this, to like the board saying, just like quiet. As that was pretty uncomfortable. Naruto was aiming for that, as he didn't really feel like talking about his parents, because that's all anyone talks about when they see him. They always say, "Are you the son of the fourth? Really?" It angers Naruto, as no one sees him for Naruto, though they see for him as the son of the fourth Hokage. Naruto continues his days at the academy. Naruto continues his day at the academy, learning bit by bit, learning jutsu one after another. But now he's been in the academy for officially a year, and the Uchiha massacre happened a few weeks ago. Well, no, the Uchiha massacre hasn't happened yet. I'm gonna postpone the Uchiha massacre till a little bit later. Naruto has been in the academy for about a couple weeks now. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Fuck that. Naruto's been in the academy for about a couple weeks. And he's just sitting outside one day next to a river watching the lake. And he's sitting outside the porch on the river. As you might be thinking, why is Naruto there? Isn't he not allowed? Well, since he started the academy, he's allowed at the house now. Since he's gonna have to go to the academy anyway, so why not go to another village? Naruto's just sitting there. Somebody walks up to him, sitting next to him, saying, "Why are you always alone? And you're always alone in class, and you're always alone here." As Naruto turns to the person, saying, "Does it really matter?" And she's like, "Yes." As Naruto's like, "Why?" And she's like, "Cause." And Naruto says, "Cause what?" She's like, "Just because." As Naruto says, "Why do you care anyway?" She's like, "It's not good to be alone." And Naruto's like, "I'm always alone." As Naruto stands up going to walk on, she says, "Why?" And Naruto's like, "Cause that's my life." As he starts to walk away, the person who Naruto was just talking to is Satsuki Uchiha. And yes, I did gender bend Sasuke to be a girl. Do you have a problem? I don't give a fuck. So yeah, as Naruto walks away, as Satsuki sits there in shock, just not being able to answer, not really saying anything. The next day at school, Naruto sits at the back of the class as usual, but this time Satsuki sits next to him. No one ever sits next to Naruto. Ever since the first day of school, people have been acting a little weird around him, cause of what he said. So yeah, they think he's a little cold. As Satsuki sits next to Naruto, and Naruto says, "Why are you sitting next to me?" And she's like, "Cause." And I was like, "Cause what?" And she's like, "I'll become your friend." And Naruto says, "I don't want friends." And she's like, "Don't care." Naruto's like, "Why would you become my friend? I don't even want it." And she's like, "Don't care. And you need friends. You can't always be alone." Naruto's like, "Yes, I can. Like, literally, watch me." And she's like, you won't get out of this that easily, right?" And Naruto's like, "Yes, I will." And she's like, "No, you won't." And he's like, "Yes, I will." And she's like, "You and me will become friends whether you want it or not." And Naruto's like, "Yeah, no." As he puts his head on his desk, just trying to take a nap. As Satsuki sits there, paying attention in class. Eventually, school is over, and she says, "So, what we're doing?" And Naruto's like, "What do you mean, what we're doing?" And she's like, "We're friends, so we have to do something." Naruto's like, "First, we're not friends, and second, stop following me." Satsuki says, "Okay, well, fine, if we're not gonna do anything. See you at school tomorrow, Naruto." She waves at him and leaves, and Naruto's like, she probably just wants to be my friend because I'm the son of the fourth. That's it. That's all anyone ever cares about. They don't care about me or anything. They just care about I'm the son of the fourth Hokage. The great yellow flash. As Naruto continues walking, he goes back to his house in his room and goes to sleep. The next morning, Naruto goes to school and Satsuki isn't there. And the third Hokage didn't come home that night either. The next day, he goes to school again. She's not there. And the next. After a week, Satsuki Uchiha come to school. But she's a bit different. She's quieter. She's not nagging Naruto to be friends with him. But she's still sitting on the desk next to him. As Naruto says, "What's up with you?" And she's like, "Nothing, I'm fine." And Naruto says, "Really?" And she's like, "Well, I thought you didn't want to be friends." As Naruto says, "I don't." And she's like, "Then leave me alone." And he's like, "You're sitting next to me. That's kind of hard." And she's like, "So, I'm allowed to sit wherever I want." And Naruto's like, "Fine, do as you wish." As she says, "I will." As Naruto says, "Okay." She's like, As Naruto, I think she's acting a bit weird. The next day, he goes. Then when he gets home that night, he doesn't go home. When he go after school to that day, I'm stuttering again. After school that day, he doesn't go home. He goes to Third Hokage's office. As he knocks on the door, as the Hiruzen says, "Come in," and Naruto says, "Hey, Gramps." As Hiruzen says, "Hey, Naruto, what are you doing here?" Naruto's like, I have this. There's this girl at school, and she's been acting weird, and she missed school for a week." And as Hiruzen knows exactly who Naruto's talking about. As Naruto says, "Why is that?" And Hiruzen says, You must be talking about Satsuki Uchiha." And I was like, "Yeah, what happened to her? Why is she acting weird all of a sudden?" As Hiruzen's like, "Naruto," and Naruto's like, "Yes." As Hiruzen says, "Well, a week ago, the Uchiha clan was massacred." And Naruto's like, "What?" Naruto steps back in shock, saying, "What do you mean massacred?" As Hiruzen says, "Itachi Uchiha, Satsuki's older brother, killed everyone in the clan except Satsuki." And I was like, but why?" As Hiruzen shakes his head, saying, "We have no clue." Satsuki said when she asked him, he said it was for power, but that's about all we know. And Naruto was like, why would you kill your clan, your family?" As Hiruzen is just shaking his head, saying, "I don't know, Naruto, But that's probably why Sasuke's personality might change a little bit in her attitude towards everyone else. Naruto's thinking, she always used to she was nagging me to be her friend for like weeks, and all of a sudden she just stopped. As Naruto thinks to himself, and Naruto says, okay, old man, thanks. As Hiruzen's like, be more respectful to your elders. And Naruto's like, yeah, Gramps, bye. As he walks out the Hokage office, Hiruzen smiles but thinks, what is Naruto planning? Naruto goes back home that day, making a concrete, foolproof plan in his own head for how he will help Sasuke. So, the next day at school, Naruto says IDC and Sasuke comes to him the same as Naruto says, so, you want to do something after school? And Sasuke looks at him a bit shocked, saying, what do you mean? And Naruto's like, I don't know, train. And she's like, why would I train with you? You're probably weak. As Naruto says, whoa, your personality really did a 180, didn't it? And she's like, tch. And Naruto's like, well, I'm not weak as you think. I know a lot of jutsus. And she's like, really? And I was like, yeah. And I have 4 chakra affinity natures. She's like, what? And Naruto's like, yeah, I got fire, lightning, wind, and water. And she's thinking, isn't there only 5 chakra natures? And she says, but Iruka Sensei said last week that there's only 5 chakra natures. And Naruto's like, yep, I got 4 of them. I figured my chakra natures I figured out what my chakra natures were when I was about 4 or 5. So I've trained on them. Now I'm 8 years old and I know a lot. As Naruto smiles at her. And this is the first time Naruto's ever smiled in class, so she sees him smiling. That kind of makes him smirk a little bit. She's like, fine, but you have to teach me a jutsu, deal? And I was like, sure, but do you even have a chakra nature? And she's like, I don't really know what they are, but I know one of them. And Naruto's like, oh, really? What is it? And she's like, fire. As Naruto's like, expected, you are no Uchiha after all. She's like, obviously, Uchiha are awesome. We're the best. As she's like, we're the best, but I'm still the best. And Naruto's like, yeah, sure. She says, what do you mean? What does yeah, sure mean? And Naruto's like, nothing. As she says, and Naruto says, whatever. As after school, they train. Naruto tries to teach her a jutsu. At first, they just spar on taijutsu a bunch, and then he tries to teach her a fire style jutsu. He tries to teach her a fire style, the Phoenix Flower Jutsu. That's one of the first 2 fire style jutsus he ever learned, so he thinks, why not teach her it? After he teaches her that jutsu, he says, okay, so can you do it? She's like, nope, how do you expect me to learn on my first try? And I was like, sorry about that. She's like, well, I'll have it done I'll already know it by tomorrow. And I was like, you sure about that? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, let's make a bet. If you don't have it done by tomorrow, you have to get me ramen. And she's like, okay. And if I do learn about tomorrow, you have to get me dango. And Dango's like, I'm pretty sure it's those sweet things that Uncle always eats. So yeah. And Naruto's like, okay. And she's like, bet. As that's the deal. As the next day, Sasuke comes into school looking absolutely pissed as she sits down next to Naruto. Naruto says, you didn't master it, didn't you? She's like, whatever, shut up. And Naruto's like, loser. She's like, the hell did you just say? And Naruto's like, nothing. As everyone in class is looking at them argue. Well, Sasuke yell at Naruto, and Naruto just saying nothing. As Iruka says, quiet. And Naruto's like, yeah, listen to Iruka. And she's like, I'll kill you. I was like, scary. As after school, Sasuke is forced to buy Naruto a bowl of miso ramen, and she buys herself food, obviously, because you're not going to watch someone eat unless you're psychopath. Like, if I'm hungry as shit and you're eating, bro, I'm taking your food, my nigga. Like, that's tough. Like, but I'm buying myself food. Like, I'm not about to just sit there and watch. But, yeah, that's it, pretty much. Naruto goes home after that, and Naruto and Sasuke relationship pretty much goes like that. They usually meet up after school and train together, and that's it. And they become best friends and closest friends, and they're each other's only friends because they're both antisocial fucks. I mean, like, Naruto's decently social, okay? He's getting more and more social. but he doesn't really like talking to. He doesn't like people that much because every time he talked to someone, they would say, "Oh my God, the fourth Hokage son's talking to me." So Naruto is a social person, but then he hates he hates that people only treat him like the son of the fourth Hokage and not like Naruto, Namikaze. They always treat him as the son of the fourth Hokage and not Naruto. So he hates that. But Sasuke never ever once mentioned that he was the son of the fourth ever. And Naruto's thinking about this one day in class, as it's the day of the graduation. He's just sitting thinking about this, thinking that they've been friends since they're 8, even though they didn't officially call each other friends till they were like 9 or 10. They've been friends since they were 8, ever since that one day. So, and he's thinking how she's never brought it up once. He smiles at this, thinking at least one person appreciates me for being me and not just for me being the son of the fourth Hokage. As Naruto looks over at Satsuki, as she says, "What you staring at?" Naruto's like, "Nothing." As Naruto ignores her, as Sakura jumps up on the table, looking at Sasuke straight in the face, getting like an inch close away from her face. As this is after Sakura and Ino made their scene running into class. They weren't really looking for a scene next to Sasuke. They were just seeing who would come in class first. As Sakura jumps on the place doing what Naruto did to Satsuki, getting close to her face, saying, "What's so special about you? Why does Naruto let you sit next to him? And why do you always get to sit next to Naruto, huh?" As she gets closer to Naruto's face, Ino's walking by accidentally bumps Sakura into Satsuki. As before Satsuki and Sakura's lips could touch, Naruto pushes Satsuki, making her fall over, and Sakura ends up falling headfirst into the seat where Satsuki was supposed to sit, hitting her forehead on the desk behind Satsuki's. As if you can watch Naruto, you know how like the desks look. So yeah, as I know how like they're stationed like one, and the next one's like above behind it. So yeah, well actually the wall, since there isn't no desk behind theirs. Yeah, so she hits her head on the wall. As no, I'm gonna say Naruto sits next to the window. Yeah, so I'm gonna just say yeah. So Naruto just sits where Sasuke did in the original. Now he moved down from the back seat all the way a little bit lower. As Sakura hits her desk on the wall, and Sasuke falls over. As she looks at Naruto, pissing, "You didn't have to push me. You could have just pulled me towards you." And Naruto like, sorry. I just reacted as quick as I could. And she's like, whatever. I was like, "You should be happy. I just saved you from losing your first kiss." And she's like, whatever. And Naruto's like, yeah. Someone's got angry. She's like, Naruto? And I was like, yeah, fine. That's Sakura saying, "Why would you do that?" And Naruto's like, "You were about to kiss. Like, I don't think you want your first kiss to be her either." And Sakura thought about this and said, "Forehead or in my first kiss not being a girl. Yeah, I'll take that." As Sakura, and don't say some stupid shit like, "What do you mean gay people? Like, what's wrong with your first kiss being a girl if you're a girl?" Like, don't say some dumb shit like that, because Sakura is fucking straight. Like, she is married to Sasuke, but Sasuke is a girl in this, whatever. So, fuck you. Don't say something. Don't want nobody comment some stupid shit, because that's annoying. But yeah, as Naruto and Sasuke and everyone gets back to the sheets, Iruka comes in saying, "Okay, it's time for the graduation test." As Naruto looks up, as Iruka says, "First, we will be doing," as he says, "Can anyone guess?" As no one raises their hand up, and he says, "Yay, what an energetic class." As Kiba says, "You bet we are." As Naruto looks at Kiba, just staring at him like a death stare, saying, "You're ruining the vibe, bro." As Kiba just sits back down, scoffing, saying, "What's so cool about him anyway? Just because he's the son of the fourth Hokage." As Naruto doesn't really hear this, but he's still thinking, but he's just confused. As Iruka says, "Well, the first test is shuriken throwing." As he does, okay, he gives everyone their shurikens and says, "Well, you guys have to try to hit, what was it called, 10 of the you guys have to try to hit all 10 targets for a total of 30 points. You get 3 points if you hit the bullseye, 2 points if you hit anywhere near the bullseye, and you get 1 point if you hit far away from the bullseye." As everyone thinks, so 2 points the like middle ground, and like 1 point at bullseye, and 3 points if you hit like far from the bullseye, and 0 points if you miss, obviously. As Satsuki throws getting a total of 26 points, Shino throws getting 22, Hinata throws getting 20, and so on and so on. Naruto's throws getting a total of 30 out of 30 points, as everyone in class is shocked, but Satsuki just looks pissed, thinking, show off. As Naruto says, ha, I got all of them. She's like, whatever, it's not like I missed one. I was just off on a couple, and Naruto's like, yeah, whatever. And she says, don't be so full of yourself. I'll definitely beat you in the next exam. And Naruto's like, really? And she's like, the next exam is what was it called? Next exam is the clone exam. As everyone stands up and does their normal clones. As when it's Naruto's turn, he says lightning clone jutsu. As he does a single hand to creates 2 lightning clones, one on each side of him. As what was it called? Rick looks at Naruto saying, Naruto, are those lightning clones? And Naruto's like, yeah. As he disperses one clone, the one to his left that's not near Iruka. As that clone explodes, creating that clone destroys itself, self-destructs, creating a shock of lightning around it. And Naruto obviously backs up before he destroys it so he doesn't get shocked and says, see? Iruka's like, good job, Naruto. You get extra credit for that. And Naruto like, thanks. He walks back to his seat, jumping over Satsuki since he sits at the corner. As he sits on his seat saying, see, told you I would win. She's like, show off. And Naruto's like, aw, is Satsuki jealous? And Naruto's like, jealous of one. He's like, my amazingness and skill, obviously. And she's like, just luck. Naruto's like, I did a jutsu. What does that have to do with luck? She's like, doesn't matter, it's still luck. And Naruto's like, fine, it's luck. As Naruto quotes that, Naruto does the quotes hand thing and says, luck. As Satsuki scoffs at this, just saying, shut up. She puts her head on her desk. And the next thing is the Hinger, I'm pretty sure. That's what it's called or something. Just a transformation jutsu. As Naruto goes up and does a transformation jutsu, he transforms into the third Hokage. As he sits down, Iruka asks Naruto, why didn't you transform into the fourth? As Naruto freezes up at this and just continues walking back to his seat and sits down, not saying a word. Satsuki obviously knows how Naruto feels about his father, so she doesn't say anything to him, saying, Naruto, you can't get pissed at him if you're not going to tell him why. Naruto's like, why should I have to tell them if they can't figure it out themselves? As everyone in the class doesn't know what they're talking about, but everyone else does their normal transformations. And now it's time for the last test, the sparring. Every fight goes normal. The rest of the fights go as normal, but when it's time for Naruto and Sasuke, the rest of the fights just people fight. Yeah, I'm not going over them. But when it's time for Naruto and Sasuke, Satsuki, I keep saying Sasuke, bro. If I say Sasuke, I mean Satsuki. With a T, like Satsuki. Yeah. So yeah, the Naruto versus Satsuki. As Naruto looks at her saying, ready? She's like, I was born ready. As Naruto says, okay, as he takes a stance, he not just shocked when he takes that stance. He's like, that stance, it looks like the gentle fist, but not exactly. As Naruto's stance resembles a gentle fist a little bit, but it's not exactly the gentle fist. See, Naruto has both of his fists. He still has his fists, but he's doing a somewhat near gentle fist stance. His legs are in the same way you would do a gentle fist stance, but his hands are not. As Naruto gets ready and propels himself, as Naruto stands there, Sasuke rushes at him. Naruto obviously sidesteps this, using his left hand to hit Satsuki's right elbow that she tried to punch him with, using a lightning chakra behind that, disabling Satsuki's right arm from like the elbow under. She's like, damn it. As she goes to kick Naruto obviously catches this kick, going to kick her, but she grabs it with her other hand. As Naruto puts lightning chakra into it, disabling that hand too, and she's like, can you fucking stop using your damn chakra? I hate this fighting style. Naruto's like, really? Is Satsuki mad? As Naruto's trying to tease her and piss her off, and she's like, fine, I've had enough of it. She pumps chakra through her arms, she pumps chakra through her arm. As it's just a light tase, so it wears off super easily. It's just a light tease that shocked you for a second, so it wears off pretty quickly. It just disables it for like a second. So like the hit you're about to hit them with loses a lot of its strength. So yeah. But she starts weaving hand signs saying fire style, fireball jutsu. As Naruto says fire style, phoenix flower jutsu. As he does a phoenix flower jutsu, countering Sasuke's fireball jutsu. As she's like, damn it. As she rushes at Naruto, Naruto rushes at her. As they start attacking, trading blows, as the taijutsu battle is getting completely out of hand. As they weren't even allowed to use ninjutsu. As he's like, Naruto, Satsuki, stop immediately. As Naruto and Sasuke both stop. As she says, first you weren't supposed to use ninjutsu at all. It says taijutsu battle. That you both were out of hand. As he looks at Naruto and Sasuke, and they both weave their hand signs simultaneously. Because Naruto saw her weave one hand sign, and he immediately started weaving hand signs. So you couldn't even tell who started first, because that's how fast he was. As Naruto Sasuke scoff, and they walk back into the class, sitting on their normal desk right next to each other, even though they're kind of pissed at each other right now. But yeah. As Iruka says, well, the rookie of the year is Naruto Namikaze, and the runner-up is Satsuki Uchiha. Satsuki is kind of pissed off, saying, whatever. And I was like, you owe me ramen. And she's like, whatever. And Naruto's like, ha, loser. And he's like, I've never, ever bought you Dango, have I? Not once. You always lose. As Naruto, she's like, whatever, I get it. And Naruto's like, no, you don't. You, Satsuki, always lose to me. As she's like, Naruto? And I was like, yes, one more word, and I'll pummel you. And I was like, yes, ma'am. As he salutes, sitting back down in his chair. Everyone in class is kind of weirded out by what they're talking about, because they don't fully get the context, but yeah. As Satsuki sits back down in her chair. And after school, they get ramen. But on their way, when they're about to both part their ways after they eat, Naruto says, hey, Satsuki, come on. And she's like, what, we're going to go train? And then he's like, nah, I'm going to get you Dango. And she's like, why? You on the bed? And Naruto's like, yeah, but you bought me ramen like you bought me ramen like over, 100, maybe 200 times? She's like, I get it. You don't got to rub it in. He's like, yeah, but I've never bought you Dango once. She's like, fine. I want to refuse free sweets. She follows Naruto, and yeah, they get Dango. And after that, they both go their separate ways and go to their own houses. Naruto no longer lives in the third Hokage's mansion. He goes over there a lot, so you could probably say he lives there, but he doesn't sleep there animore. As he asked the third Hokage for permission to live in his own house when he was last year, when he was 11, and the third Hokage gave him permission after testing his skill. But there's still Anbu guarding Naruto's house till he officially becomes a genin. Then the Anbu will stop guarding him, but till then Naruto will have Anbu guarding his house whether he likes it or not. So yeah, but when he's a genin, they'll stop. I'm repeating myself just to get that clear through your mind. But so yeah, as Naruto goes back to his house sleeping. The next day he goes to school and they're announcing their teams. As Team 7 is called upon, saying the Team 7, Naruto Uzumaki. As Naruto says yes, and then he says Sakura Haruno. And Naruto's like, no, what? Why? As he's like, Naruto, and as Iruka says Naruto, and Naruto's like, fine. As Sakura is cheering. As Satsuki is kind of pissed off. She doesn't know why she's mad at, but she's kind of pissed off. As then it says Satsuki Uchiha. Satsuki grins and Naruto smirks at her. She's like, why are you smirking? Naruto's like, why are you grinning? As they both look at each other and then just turn away from each other, and they both have a smile on their face. As they say, your joining team leader is Kakashi Hatake. As Naruto's like, wait, Kakashi? And everyone looks at him. As Iruka says, you know Kakashi? And Naruto's like, yeah, of course I know Kakashi. As everyone's like, yeah, like, obviously you would know Elite Jonin. Like, I mean, not Elite Jonin. Obviously, yeah, yes, an Elite Jonin. I thought it said Special Jonin. I meant Elite Jonin. Obviously you would know Elite Jonin. As everyone's just thinking, privileges of being the fourth Hokage's son. As Naruto is no one say that out loud, though. Naruto's like, he's our sensei. Well, I guess it's fine if it's him, but, like, he's probably always going to be late. As if after Luka leaves saying, wait here for your team, Naruto grabs Satsuki and starts walking out the door, pulling her with him. She's like, one, why do you have my hand? And second, where are you taking me? And Naruto's like, we're leaving. And she's like, wait, but our Jonin sensei. Didn't you say you know him? If you ditched, he would be mad. And I was like, no, it's Kakashi. He's always at least 3 hours late to everything. So it's best we leave now. Sakura's like, wait, Naruto, let me come with you. And Naruto's like, nope. And he body flickers, taking Sasuke with him. As they arrive at the ramen shop, as Naruto sits down saying, let's eat, it's on me. He's like, free food is free food. As they both sit down, she says, are you sure he's always in? Naruto's like, yep, I've known him since I was a kid. He has never once in his life been on time. As Kakashi is spying on them right now, and he hears this and he says, you know what, I'm leaving. I thought it'd be interesting to see Naruto and his friend, but fuck this. I'm going to the Obito and Rin's grave. As he leaves, Naruto's like, okay, well, let's go. Naruto goes back to his house, and they start training. Well, they don't go to his house; they go to Third Hokage's house, and they start training in the backyard place because it's obviously isolated, so it's way better. As Konoha comes saying, "Big brother Naruto, you gonna train me?" And Naruto's like, "Nope." And he's like, "Why?" And Naruto's like, "Cause I'm training right now with Satsuki." And Konohama is annoyed, saying, "You're always training with your girlfriend. You never train with me." And Naruto says, "She's not my girlfriend." As Satsuki says, "Yup, no way I would ever date this loser." As Konohama says, yeah, you two keep telling yourselves that." As he walks away, kind of frustrated that Naruto refused to train him. As Naruto walks up to him saying, "I'll train you next time, promise." As Konohama's like, "Bet. But you have to teach me the clone jutsu." And Naruto's like, "Okay, I guess. That's fair." As Konohama says, "Okay." As Naruto taps Konohama in the forehead like Itachi always used to tap Satsuki. Satsuki sees this and sheds a tear. And Naruto sees that, so walk up to her saying, "Satsuki, are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And she kind of got a memory about Itachi being nice to her, but then she immediately says, "No, I have to hate him and I have to kill him. I have to avenge my clan." As Naruto says, "Okay, let's go." And if you might be thinking, Satsuki's a girl, so how about the CRA? Fuck the CRA, first of all. And second, I haven't decided what to do with that yet, okay? Yet. I'll figure out how to deal with that problem. Oh, yeah. You know what? I just figured out how to deal with that problem. Itachi said if Satsuki ever goes to CRA and if he ever hears even the slightest rumor about it, he'll come back he'll spill all the village's secrets, including the Uchiha massacre. Then he'll come back and kill all the elders. And they take the threat of their lives, their families' lives being taken, and the village secrets being spilled by Itachi very seriously. So yeah, the CRA and Satsuki isn't gonna happen. Me think I'll figure out how to deal with it later, but dealing with it in like 2 seconds later. But yeah, as what was it called? Naruto and Satsuki continue their training. Eventually, they go back after an hour or two, and they arrive, seeing Kakashi there waiting, kind of ticked off, saying, "Where were you two?" And Naruto's like, "Well, I knew you'd be 3 hours late, so I thought we would leave for 4 hours." As Kakashi's like, "Naruto, what type of reasoning is that?" Naruto's like, "Perfect reasoning, honestly. Like, I was amazing at this." As he looks at Sasuke, saying, "Told you you'd be 3 hours late." And she's like, yeah, whatever. As Naruto and Sasuke sit down, as Kakashi says, "To the roof, everyone." Naruto puts a hand on Sasuke's shoulder and body flickers there. And then when he body flickers there, Sakura obviously runs all the way up, saying, "You guys could have taken me with you." Naruto's like, but didn't want to. As Naruto is sitting right next to Satsuki, and they have like 1 inch between them. As Kakashi's like, "Well, everyone introduce yourselves." And Sakura's like, "Well, you have to introduce yourself first, obviously. Show us how." And that's as Kakashi's sweat drops, saying, "Isn't what I heard she was supposed to be smart, but from what I'm seeing, it doesn't look like it." As Kakashi says, "My name is Kakashi Hatake. My likes and I like a lot of things. I also don't like a lot of things. My hobbies are none of your business. And my dreams are also, well, none of your business. But I don't really think I have any." I don't know if that's exactly what Kakashi says, but whatever. Sakura says the same stupid shit. No, Sakura does not say the same stupid shit. She says the same shit in the original, but when she, instead of glancing at Satsuki, since Satsuki is a girl in this what if, she glances at Naruto each and every time. As Naruto sees this and Satsuki sees this, Satsuki gets pissed. She doesn't exactly know why, but she sums it up to Naruto is her best friend, so she's just being overprotective. Yeah, that's what she summed it up to herself in her head. As Naruto's kind of annoyed that she's fangirling over him. As Kakashi's sweat drops, saying, "I knew Naruto had fangirls, but this is excessive." Her mission is to marry him and have his whoa, this is too obsessive. As Kakashi says, okay, how about you, Satsuki? How about you, Satsuki? I said Sasuke, oh my god. How about you, Satsuki? As Satsuki's like, my name is Satsuki Uchiha. My likes, well, I don't like a lot of things. I don't like that many things. She glances at Naruto when she says, but I like a couple things. As Naruto smiles at this because he saw her glance, she sees that and she just blushes, turning away. As she says, I dislike a lot of things. As she glances at Sakura, and she says, I also hate fangirls. As Sakura hears this and Kakashi hears this, Kakashi snickers and Naruto snickers, and Sakura kind of gets pissed. And she's like, my hobbies are training and training with Naruto, and that's pretty much it. My dreams, well, it's not a dream, it's an ambition, and I will make it a reality. I will kill a certain someone. As she says that in a normal edgelord tone, as Naruto lifts up his left hand, chopping her over her head, saying, "Not," and she chopping over her head, saying, "Really?" And she's like, "What?" And Naruto's like, "Not right now." And seriously, if you're gonna why would you say you want to kill someone so openly? And Sasuke's like, doesn't matter. I'll kill Itachi. I'll kill that bastard. And Naruto's like, yeah, I know you will. But try not to announce that to everyone you meet. As he pats her head. And she's like, I'm not a kid. Stop doing that. And I was like, okay, fine. As he backs off with putting his hands up. As Kakashi's like, well, my first impression of all of you is, well, you're all idiots. So Naruto's like, I'm gonna kill you, Kakashi. And Kakashi's like, yeah, you always say that, but you never. As Naruto waves a single hand, still saying, water style, severing wave jutsu. As Naruto does it, as Kakashi immediately body flickers, dodging it. As, well, he doesn't body flicker. Kakashi's substitution jutsu, because it was too fast. He couldn't body flicker. As Naruto does a straight, I don't know how to explain it, to be honest, bro. If y'all play Shinobi Striker, y'all know what I'm talking about. Tobiramu's second jutsu. That's not the water dragon, but it's like a straight. It's like he shoots like a beam of water, but it's super small and precise, like a laser that comes from, like, just imagine like like the lasers that come out of Superman's eyes, like just one of them. But yeah, that's how precise it is, and it's like a beam of water, and it can cut through pretty much fucking almost everything. So yeah. That's pretty much what Naruto uses. That's Kakashi's substitution jutsu. And Naruto says, shit, he's substitution jutsu. As the pole beyond Kakashi was leaning back on, is completely cut in half. As Sasuke and Sakura look at Naruto, Sakura looks at Naruto about a fangirl, and Sasuke says, "Are you an idiot?" And Naruto's like, "What?" And she's like, "You could have killed him." And Naruto's like, "Nah, if he died from that, he doesn't deserve to be my sensei." As Kakashi appears behind Naruto, saying, "You dumb brat, that would have been bad if you hit me." As Naruto says, "Actually, I did." Kakashi says, "What?" And Kakashi looks down on his joining vest, seeing a little blood coming from it. And then he sees it ripped in his joining vest and his shirt, and he's bleeding a little bit, even though it's not really bad. As he applies basic medical ninjutsu that he knows himself, saying, "Okay, here's the thing, brats. All of you meet me at training ground. Whatever, just training ground," he said in the original, "tomorrow, and don't eat breakfast." And Naruto says, "Yes, sir." Kashi says, "Stupid Naruto," as he body flickers away. Oh, he mumbles, "Stupid Naruto." His body flickers away. Sorry, I had to drink some water. As Naruto says, "Well, let's go, Sasuke. Gotta train." As Sasuke says, "Whatever." As Naruto and Sasuke both walk off the building, as Sakura's like, As Naruto and Sasuke are walking down the building casually, because they just jumped off the ledge and then they just started walking down. Sakura is seeing this like, how are they doing that? As Naruto and Sasuke walk down, as Sasuke says, "Do you think she realizes that I exist and jumped off the building too?" As Naruto's like, "Nope." And she's like, "That's sad." Naruto's like, "Yeah, but fangirls will be fangirls." And Sasuke's like, "Do you like them?" And Naruto's like, "Hell no." And she's like, "Good." And I was like, "Why?" And she's like, no reason." I don't even know why I said that, honestly, is what she's thinking in her head. But outside, she has no reason. As we're gonna fast forward to the next day, Naruto and Sasuke do train, and they do eat ramen, and then they go back to their own houses. As was it called? The next day they go to train. As Sasuke and Sakura haven't eaten food, Naruto gets there, and he's eating a dango. As he hands Satsuki one, saying, "Here, eat." And she's like, "He said don't eat." And Naruto's like, Yeah, but he's probably not gonna come for a few hours. So eat this dango and then let's go get breakfast. I knew you wouldn't eat and follow instructions, but Kakashi's evil. He's probably planning something. As Naruto thinks, I don't. Naruto thinks that's what he gets for dating Anko. As Naruto says out loud. Well, I don't know what I expect. He is dating Anko. You might think, what do you mean he's not dating the original? Yeah, I'm making that happen in this. And also, Anko won't become fat because fuck that. And yeah, as Naruto is sitting there, as Naruto and Sasuke go to eat, Sakura does not leave because she says we have to stay here, but if we are gonna leave Naruto, I'll come too. As Naruto says, yeah, nah, as he body flickers away with Sasuke like he always does. As Sasuke says, you know, you don't have to body flicker take me with you every time you body flicker. I can body flicker too. And I was like, yeah, but it's easier this way. They go to eat breakfast at a breakfast place. They just get pancakes or some shit like that. And then they arrive back at the place. Kakashi arrives about 30 minutes later, and he says, well, here's a test, as he gives them the rules, saying, and whoever doesn't get the bells doesn't eat lunch. As Naruto says, told you so. As Sasuke says, why do you always have to be right? And Naruto's like, I don't know, I'm just built different like that, you know? As Kakashi says, go. As Naruto and everyone jump back into bushes, as Kakashi says, I can't sense Naruto at all. I can barely sense Satsuki. And Sakura, well, she's not making a good job of hiding herself. As he hears Sakura saying, Naruto, where are you? Come out, or did he already get you? As Naruto is thinking, what a dumbass. Satsuki's thinking, what a dumbass. Everyone's just thinking, dumbass. But yeah, I don't hate Sakura, okay, unnecessarily. Like, I hate Sakura, because, like, I hate the shit she says, and it fucking pisses me off that she always be hitting Naruto. But, like, that's not the problem, because that always happens in anime. The main character always gets hit by a girl, but that's not my problem. Bro, that's not the problem. It's just the issue is, she says some of the dumbest and most annoying shit I have ever heard in my fucking life, bro. Like, I know it's an anime character, so you're about to be like, it's a cartoon character, don't get pressed. Like, I don't care, bro. Some of the stupidest shit ever. But, yeah, that's why I don't like her. I'm not gonna say she's useless or some shit, because, like, she does go from being high tuning to fucking above Kage level in the war arc, which is stupid. Like, I'm sorry, but when the war arc started and before it, this girl was, like, high tuning at best. And don't say she defeated Sasori, because she defeated Sasori with Chiyo's help. She was pretty much just a puppet the entire time, and she was being controlled. And yeah, she was like high tuning level, low joning level, right? And then in the war, she was like, shit, low-key, I'm gonna become above Kage level for absolutely no fucking reason. Nobody close to me is gonna die. Nothing is just gonna happen. I'm gonna just be able to punch Kage for absolutely no reason. Like, no reason whatsoever. I'll just become above a Kage. Like, makes perfect sense, low-key. And then you're gonna say, what do you mean above a Kage? That means she's above Naruto. Like, nah, okay, Naruto, Sasuke are their own tier. Tier, okay? Kage, by Kage, I mean, like, she became stronger than all the 5 current Kage at that point, out of fucking nowhere. I was like, this shit don't make no sense. She couldn't even summon the slug that Tsunade could summon at the beginning. And now she's able to fucking be stronger than all the other 5 Kage. Like, this is some straight bullshit, is what was going through my head. But yeah, what was it? Where was I again? Yeah, Naruto jumps down saying, what? Fire style. Dragon Bomb Jutsu. As Naruto does that Fire Style Jutsu. As Kakashi jumps back saying water style bullet jutsu, as he counters Naruto's fire style, but Naruto's fire style keeps going. Kakashi says, well, at least I slowed it down. As he body flickers, dodging it, as Naruto body flickers in front of Kakashi, hitting him with the lightning enhanced kick. As Kakashi gets hit with the kick, and he feels a little surge of electricity, as he thinks he's hitting me with electricity too. Naruto keeps attacking Kakashi, as every time Kakashi gets hit with a little electricity. As he's thinking, damn it, I can't. He's actually pushing me back. As Kakashi says, well, I should probably put my book away. As he puts the book away and looks at Naruto, saying, you're pretty good, Naruto. As Naruto says, didn't ask. As he does a same time saying, water star severing wave jutsu. As he does a water star severing wave jutsu, as Kakashi substitution out of this, appearing behind Naruto, saying, too slow. kicking Naruto into a tree. Sasuke says, "This is my chance." I mean, Satsuki thinks this is my chance as he throws shuriken and stuff at Kakashi like in the original, and the same thing happens. Kakashi substitutes out of it. As Naruto just goes back into hiding. Sasuke attacks Naruto like she did, like Sasuke did in the original, and the same thing happens. Except this time, when she's buried underground with the headhunter jutsu, Naruto comes up to her saying, "Need some help?" And she's like, "Just get me out already." And Naruto says, "What's the magic word?" She's like, "Get me up or I'll kill you when I get out of here." And Naruto says, "Oh, yeah, that's the magic word." As he helps Satsuki get out, and Naruto says, "Let's team up. Neither of us can take him alone." And Satsuki's like, "Fine." She doesn't know why she agrees. She knows she has to get stronger by herself to defeat Itachi. But she just agreed. She doesn't exactly know why, but she just ignores it. Just saying it doesn't really matter to herself. As Naruto says, "Okay, let's do this." As they attack Kakashi. As Naruto attacks Kakashi head on using taijutsu skills, he's strong as he's better at taijutsu than Satsuki, and he's faster than her. As he attacks Kakashi, Satsuki goes behind saying, fireball jutsu. As when the fireball's about to hit Kakashi dodges a little bit. As Naruto goes to the opposite side of where Kakashi is in the fireball. Sorry if I'm out of breath. If I sound like I'm out of breath, I just had to go run downstairs and do something. But yeah, Naruto goes to the opposite side of where Kakashi is and throws it and says, "Winsell, Gale Palm Jutsu." As he redirects the fireball and increases his strength, going straight towards Kakashi. Kakashi gets hit by this fireball, not expecting Naruto to do that. Naruto and Sasuke don't let up though, even though Kakashi's falling back after getting hit by the amped fireball, the wind style amped fireball. They rush at him. Kakashi's already off balance. Naruto and Sasuke are attacking him one after another, not letting up, having amazing teamwork, flawless, because they fight together so much they know each other's moves, so they're just having amazing teamwork. Low key. Well, actually high key. But yeah, they attack Kakashi. Naruto pulls some extra slick shit and pulls a kuna out of his pouch, throwing it extremely discreetly. Like he's just going for he's just punching, but then he uses his left hand to pull out a kuna and throw it, even though the kuna patch is on his right side. So yeah. So he moves his left hand there and pulls it and throwing it, hitting the kunai, hitting the bells and pinning them to a tree far behind Kakashi. Kakashi doesn't even know this as he's getting hit with a flurry of taijutsu attack by Satsuki and Naruto. As Naruto and Sasuke both back off, Naruto body flickers over to the bells, grabbing them. As he body flickers back to Satsuki, saying, "Here you go." As he tosses her, and she's like, "Thanks." As they fist bump, saying, "We win." As Kakashi looks at them like, I guess you win." As Naruto says, "So do we pass or not?" Kakashi says, "This hasn't happened before." As he's thinking in his head, should I pass them? They did work together, teamwork, but they didn't include Sakura. As they say, as Kakashi says, "Well, I was gonna pass you guys as long as you worked as a team." And Naruto and Satsuki look at each other as Naruto smirks at her, and she says, and she thinks, "Smart ass." As Kakashi says, "But you two worked as a team and you got the belt, so I have no choice but to pass you. But next time, try to include Sakura." They both say nope and start walking off. As Kakashi says, "Meet me tomorrow here for a mission." As Naruto says, "Okay, Kakashi." As Satsuki just says, As they go to eat to celebrate, and then they go back to their respective houses. And that's the end of this What If. This is What If Naruto knew about his legacy or knew who his parents were, part 1. And yeah, sorry if part 1 was pretty boring, but like that's tough. I'm gonna continue this What If. Like it's gonna be more like Naruto will be like similar to Minato, but he won't be a carbon copy. He'll be pretty similar to Minato. Like just imagine if Minato and Tobirama were like one person. Like just imagine Minato and Tobirama's skill as a single person, and that's what then you'll get Naruto. But yeah, that's the end of What If. That's the end of What If. I will be posting Todoroki. I will still be posting the final part of Todoroki. Don't worry about that. I just really wanted to post this What If, and a bunch of people asked me to post it, so I was like, yeah, sure. I did kind of leak it though a little bit. I just posted my thumbnail, you know. I just feel like doing that because I'm pretty proud of this. Pretty good. But yeah, I know I don't think people will like it that much, but I made it extra long because somebody commented 1 hour long part, and I was like, shit, you want 1 hour? I'll give you an hour and a half for like the two.